I believe that the most important force in the entire universe is love. If you're somebody who really wants to create a life that you love, you want to be doing your soul's purpose, loving your life, loving every day, loving the people you're around, and most importantly, loving yourself, you definitely want to listen or watch this podcast. And I want to share a little bit about what I'm doing to create a life that I love. Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Hi there and welcome. I'm Dr. E, Dr. Divinity, and Master Spiritual Coach. I'm the founder of Spiritual Psychology School and Society Community. And this week is a special week. We are on Valentine's week, and it doesn't matter if you're popping in this week or another week. It's really about the frequency and the force called love. So if you're new here, please subscribe or give a review. You can grab the Universal Law calendar below. It's free, and it is a Universal Law lesson every week along with the energy update, and it gives you a link here as well so that we come together each week and here to dive deeper into spiritual truths, aligning with universal law, and really birthing our relative expression in this lifetime. Okay, so I really want to break down a very, very, very important distinction. So over the years, I've worked with over 10,000 soul-based coaches and practitioners, and I've witnessed over the years working with many people and witnessed myself going through different chapters, highs and lows, and times of success and times that are very challenging. And there's one distinction that really stands apart from everything, and it's the distinction of love. So first we have to define what is love. From a science perspective, love is simply like the coherence between the heart and brain, and it's the coherence between all things. We know that there is an entanglement with everyone, everywhere, scientifically. And spiritually, we definitely know this. We teach oneness. So love just is. It is really the oneness with everything, right? But there's also further expression of love, which is really a magnetizing field that is drawing people to things that they love. It's opening up that heart field. And just imagine when you're looking at a little baby or a puppy or your, loved ones, and just opens up that love field. And there's a force. There's literally a force in there that amplifies the feelings and everything. And we know that this goes into quantum manifesting. When we really want to manifest something, we're feeling into it. And the feeling is really the most important thing of the consciousness. So over the years, I've witnessed many practitioners and coaches. And I've witnessed, and there's usually one thing that is determining whether this person is going to have success or they're not going to be having success. And it really is that zone in that field of that flow state of that magnetism of love. So a good example of this is right now. You can think about all the insanity going on social media and in the news and all the dark stuff going on in the world. And a lot of people are getting kind of entangled in it. They're looking at these dark things happening on the internet, all the wars, all the Epstein files, all this stuff. I mean, just like ICE and you name it, you can turn on your news on the social media every single day and find horrific things going on this planet. And what happens when we're in the zone of resisting and not liking it and feeling separated and divided is we have the opposite of the love field, right? And then we have the other choice. We can spend today, we cannot scroll through social media per se, we can serve, we can spend time with loved ones, we can be out in nature, we can do whatever it is that we love doing, creating, serving, bringing our mission to life, whatever that is. And we're either in that love zone or we're in that resistance zone. And so I've witnessed this over the years with practitioners and coaches, right? So oftentimes when people are starting their coaching business, there's a lot to do, right? There's many moving parts. There's website building, there is getting your messaging, there is all this stuff, social media, posting, all this stuff. And what I notice with coaches is the people that love it, that stay in the love field around it, even though it's just as challenging for them as anyone else, they have to learn it just the same, but they're staying in that love field. They're staying in, I love it, I want to give, I want to serve. Yes, there's challenges, but yes, there's opportunities for me to grow and serve, right? Or there's the other practitioners that are like, this is so hard, I can't do this. They're posting and they're not enjoying the process of learning and the challenges that are the opportunities to grow. And so this is really the difference of what I see with people. And I've I've fallen into it as well. And this is what is going to make you have success, whether it be in your coaching business or with a relationship. The same thing happens in relationship. If you're in a relationship and you're focusing on what's wrong, what you want to change, what's nagging and getting negative and focusing on what's not working, or you're focusing on what is working and what you do love about your friend or the partner or whoever you're in relationship with, and focusing on those strengths and focusing on what does work, then the relationship is going to flourish. It's going to start growing exponentially of what is the positive aspect. If you're focusing on the negative, then more of the negative is going to happen. And that's a lot of the problem with the processing and self-help world, is that if we're processing and thinking there's something wrong to change, fix, heal, or whatever, then we're going to be focusing on something's wrong. So it's a real massive shift to get into the love field. So I want to share a few things about what I'm doing to really create a life that I love. Because if we really truly know that this is the most important thing, is for us to get into the love field for manifesting, for directing energy of what we do want instead of what we don't want, then we've got to do massive daily spiritual practice and things to align to live a life that we love. So inside of the school, before going to my personal story of what I'm doing, yes, we help people rid their subconscious mind of their traumas and their blocks and their false identity, because I don't care what's going on in your life. If you have things in the subconscious mind of trauma or, just horrific things that have happened, or breakups, or feeling like you're still the effect of your ex or whatever it may be, it's going to be hard to be positive, or it's going to be hard to be in the love field no matter what you do, right? So yes, we do all that work in the school, but one of the things that we do that is in addition to that, that is just as important, is helping people birth their relative truth, okay? So because when you love your life, we have a saying, it's called live your truth, okay? Loving your life means that for you, it's going to be different for you than for the next person, right? One person may love being on social media and the next person just doesn't vibe with that. It's just not their truth, right? It's imperative as we go through this for people to birth their truth. What are their core values? Where do they love spending time? Where do they thrive? Where do they not thrive, right? So this is the whole work that we're doing inside of the school, along with the deep soul clearing work, because we're in a relative universe, okay? And what does this mean exactly? There's ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is that there's only life. The ultimate truth is that energy cannot be destroyed, right? These are truths, okay? But relative truth it means that everything is different for you. Where you thrive in what environment, where you thrive in a relationship is going to be unique for you. So along the way, with all religions, philosophy, and science, we really try and teach the core work of all hidden wisdom within all of it. And one of the great Greek philosophers, Protagoras, taught us the relative experience, that each person has a relative truth. So again, what does this mean? Well, from a scientific perspective, one of my greatest teachers is Bruce Lipton. He was a scientist and he studied cells, and he recognized that the most important thing for the cell to thrive was its environment. But what he came, and the true legacy that he left the planet, was we as human beings get to choose what environment we are placed into. Therefore, consciousness is the most important thing, to be able to choose where we place ourselves in which environments. He went on to go prove in science how even our genes, that only 5% of our genes really determine our destiny, that it really is more about our lifestyle, what we choose, and really our emotions are the most important thing for our health, wealth, and for us to thrive in all areas of our lives. So coming to my personal journey of the things that I'm doing to create a life that I love and thrive in my business, in my career, in my health and vitality, in my relationships and love, and in my purpose and calling. So as many of you guys know, I moved back over to Palm Beach, Florida about 6 months ago. And there was a very, very specific reason why I did this, which is completely in alignment with this. So one thing I noticed over the years is that I do much better energetically if I'm able to be in Mother Earth, and also if I'm able to ground on Mother Earth with bare feet. And I'm very cold-blooded. So I went back over to Los Angeles for a couple years before coming back over to here. And I love it. I love Los Angeles. I love California. It's where I'm born and raised. There was some dissonance of different things for sure. But one thing that majorly changed was so many people I knew had moved out of Los Angeles. And some of my dear friends still live there, but I noticed that we spent time together, but I was able to spend just as much time with them when I lived in a different city because we'd come in and we'd have chunks of time together versus a couple of hours and a couple of hours here and there. So one thing I had to think about was, what are my must-haves? What do I need to thrive in my energetics? And of course, I need prayer, I need meditation, I need good sleep, I need good food. But what I really need also is I need to be outside for a lot of hours a day. I need to be in Mother Earth. I need to ground on Mother Earth barefoot. So Palm Beach is one of those places. I absolutely love it here. I am able to wake up majority of all sunrises, except for it's been a little cold lately, so I haven't been going out every single morning. But I go out barefoot and I jog barefoot on the beach in the ocean. It's like amazing. And I also do some meditation and some breath work and prayer. And I'm really able to hold my energetics a lot more when I come back and I'm working on the computer and doing everything. So that's one of the biggest things I've been doing to really love my life. It is important for me to spend time with my friends that I love. So I've had a few of my girlfriends come fly in and stay with me. I made sure to get a place where I have a beautiful guest room so that my friends or family can stay with me anytime. I also will be flying out for work and to go see my family and my grandson. So that's one of the biggest things, right? So we have to really take a look at the areas of life that we love and know that this week, as we're in this week of love, which is every week, the most powerful force in the universe is love. So that means the most important thing that we do is to get into the love field. So whether it's something that you love animals and you want to get a puppy, or you really love being in partnership with somebody, whatever it is, wherever you thrive, and that's different for each person. The core work that we do is healing and transforming and awakening, but in that it's really about knowing thyself and birthing the relative truth. So you really want to get clear of what works for you in relationship, what works for you in your environment, where do you thrive, not just where is like the par, but where do you actually thrive. In relationship with friends, I do really well with soul-based entrepreneurs. I love my soul-based entrepreneur girlfriends, right? So I'm going to put myself more and more in those environments, right? In health and vitality, I feel much better and I thrive the more pure I am. I'm doing sauna work and water fast and eating more and more live food. So all this stuff is what we're here. We're in this masterclass called life, and we're here to awaken to our relative truth so that we can thrive in the highest, most pure way that works for us. And so this brings me to this universal law lesson of the week, which is the law of relativity. There is only one law. It's the law of one. It's a law of understanding there's one source. It's God's source. It's your higher self, the I am consciousness, God's source within. And that everything else is the outpicturing of the fractal of that expression. But in this, there's many distinctions. I teach one distinction every week of the year, and this distinction is universal law of relativity. There is a relative truth. There is ultimate truth, again, that, we're eternal, immortal, spiritual beings. We're not these bodies. Energy cannot be destroyed, right? We're one. These are eternal, ultimate truths. But the relative truth is that we get to have a perception. Each person has a different perception. And so your relative truth actually evolves as you do your soul's work, as you release the limited beliefs, as you release the false identities, your perception actually changes. So what works for you today and what you love doing may change over time. What works for you in your relationships as you expand consciousness, it may be completely different. That's why you get a relative truth. But it's important to live your relative truth when you're in that perspective, because it's where you're thriving, right? The ultimate place to be is where you were able to accept people and places in life as it is and hold our own energetics for us to live a life that we love, not making others wrong, not judging anyone, but also putting laws and things in place. And we know that there's a whole question of that, of do our laws even work in today's world? And if it really upsets you in some way, things like that, then your relative truth is that you're here to make a difference on the planet in whatever areas and places that you feel need to change on the planet. And so in this week of love, this all-encompassing life of love, I'm just going to know the truth together, taking a deep breath together, just bringing the coherence of the heart and the head, the right and left hemisphere of the brain, and one with yourself, the individual with the cosmos, one with the infinite I am source within, and I'm just knowing this relative experience, and I'm knowing the devotion and dedication to create lives that we love. The most important thing that we do every day is do what we love. That's the most important thing, to get into that flow state, get into that oneness, get into that magnetism of opening the heart. The heart is what communicates with the entire universe. Opening the heart to love, sending your enemies love, sending everyone you love love, loving life, giving love to every single person that you come in contact with, loving yourself like your father, your mother, that you always wish that you were loved, being that for yourself, and knowing the true sovereignty of knowing that you can't get love from the external world, that you only get love from divine source within, and that you're here to give that, share it, and spread it all through the life, the cosmos, and everyone everywhere. I'm just saying yes to love, yes to love, yes to love. As together we say, and so it is. And so it is. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited. I'll see you all in class on Tuesday. If you're in the school, I teach multiple levels within the school on Tuesdays. We get our mind right. We dive deep into doing all the soul clearing work, doing regressions of current life, past life, and doing time compressing work as well. Aligning with universal law, diving deep into understanding how the subconscious mind and the soul is one with the super consciousness, and really having true awakening, healing, and transformation. Okay, you guys have a beautiful, blessed day, and may you live the truth.